The Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 is finally upon us, and with it we're getting our first look at the future of Wear OS. As we've known for some time, Samsung and Google have teamed up for the next generation of wearables, and what we have here today are two of the first watches to use the new platform, the Galaxy Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic. They're watches that bring all the style and fitness features you'd expect, with a new look and Wear OS app support that still feels like a Galaxy wearable but with the power of Google under the hood. We've had some time with both versions of the Watch 4 ahead of the launch event today, so let's dive in. Take a sec to subscribe to Android Central so you don't miss future videos, and we'll get started. So the Galaxy Watch 4 series is the natural successor to the sporty Galaxy Watch Active 2 and the more dressy Galaxy Watch 3. There's been nothing in the way of a massive redesign here, and the lineage of both watches is plain to see. We have 4 different sizes to choose from here. The Watch 4, made of lightweight aluminium, is offered in 40 and 44mm face sizes. The Watch 4 Classic, with its rotating bezeled edge, comes in at 42 and 46mm. Both have identical display sizes though, 1.2 and 1.4 inches respectively, with Super AMOLED resolutions of 396 by 396 on the smaller variants and 450 by 450 on the larger ones. These are among the sharpest, brightest and most stunning smartwatch displays on the market. And they're covered in Corning's Gorilla Glass DX and DX Plus, reducing reflectiveness and improving contrast. But of course these aren't just the latest in a very long line of watches from Samsung. They're launching on a brand new platform, arriving as the first Wear OS 3.0 wearables from the latest Google-Samsung partnership. So what's new? Well, a lot is going to be pretty familiar to previous Galaxy Watch users. They'll be right at home in the new wearable version of One UI. The main new feature for those folks will be the Google Play Store, but if you look a little deeper, then the technical side of these watches means they represent the strongest challenge yet to the Apple Watch. Google's platform gives Samsung's watches access to more apps than ever before, and Samsung's latest 5nm Exynos silicon means they're an enormous step beyond previous Wear OS or Tizen watches in terms of CPU and GPU power, and more importantly, power efficiency. In fact, battery life from these watches is quoted at an impressive 40 hours. While the Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic are powered by the same underlying hardware, their designs share a lot more with their immediate predecessors, the Watch 3 and Watch 2 Active, than they do with one another. For starters, the regular Watch 4 is light, 26 and 30 grams between the two sizes, thanks to an aluminium body. It also encourages navigation around the Wear OS software through a touch-sensitive edge that imitates the physical bezel but without any additional bulk. The Watch 4 Classic, by contrast, is made of stainless steel and weighs 36 and 52 grams respectively, and comes in a full millimeter thicker. It's chunky in either configuration. The Galaxy Watch 4 is well equipped for health tracking with a new combination sensor that tracks heart rate, electrical heart data, and so-called bioelectrical impedance analysis, which is a catch-all for measuring overall body health. We've seen this before in devices like the Fitbit Sense. It's going to take a long time to judge that sensor's repeated accuracy, but the loadout of readings is at least pretty exhaustive. All-day heart rate measurement isn't new, nor is ECG, or the ability to detect arterial fibrillation. Blood oxygen saturation is novel and can be useful for detecting early signs of infections like COVID-19, but it won't be widely used. And the Watch 4 can measure blood pressure as well, but this hasn't been approved by US regulators yet. Likewise, there are a bunch of sleep tracking improvements like snore detection, which we obviously haven't had the chance to test yet. An interesting caveat is that you'll need the Samsung Health Monitor app on your smartphone in order to take advantage of any of these features. Since that app is currently only available on the Galaxy App Store, it's not immediately clear how well many of these features will sync on a non-Samsung phone. All of which ties into the idea that this is a Samsung Watch first and a Wear OS watch second. Many of Samsung's own customizations, including Samsung-specific settings and watch faces between the watch and phone, will only work on a Samsung-branded phone at this time. But what else is new about Wear OS 3.0? Well, current Galaxy Watch owners will have a hard time finding any big differences between the One UI watch on the Galaxy Watch 4 series and what's present on previous Galaxy watches. That is, until they start digging a bit. At the heart of this is the Google Play Store, a fundamentally different way to get a wider variety of apps on your smartwatch. The usual suite of Samsung apps are preloaded on the watch, including a few Google ones like Google Maps, Messages by Google, Google Pay, and YouTube Music, and additional apps can be installed by the Play Store either on the watch itself or your linked smartphone. Google Maps in particular is a huge new addition to Galaxy watches that boasts great navigation features but was a little slow in places on these early demo units. Right now, in terms of digital assistants, it's all Bixby all the time, but Samsung says it will be adding the option to choose between Bixby and Google Assistant at a later date. Navigating around these watches will be pretty familiar to existing Tizen or Wear OS users, though with one major addition. The new list of apps is one of the most visually distinct differences in the new Wear OS. There's a certain visual similarity to Apple's staggered grid of app icons for sure. Icons can be arranged either on the watch or via the Wear OS app on your smartphone, meaning it's just a quick tap or a swipe to get to your most commonly used apps. And of course there are countless watch faces too, with personalization options and customizable complications, just as you'd expect from Wear OS. The Galaxy Watch's hardware is a known quantity, and what we've seen from Samsung's new watches so far is reassuring. There's definitely a lot to like there. Less assured though is the transition from Tizen to Wear OS in the short term, and long term, how Samsung and Google will fare managing one of the most important platforms in the industry. We'll have a lot more to say on these watches coming very soon in our full review, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that and all of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.